Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Are you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler.
This is The Best Pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it. Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
No sequel for you.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Best Pictures / Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
Hey, and I'm Don Tretler. Welcome to the show. And we're going to talk about movies and we're going to talk about baseball, but not necessarily baseball movies.
Exactly. We've done that enough. We've done that way too many times. We were just talking off screen. Sandy Alderson, the president of baseball operations, the former general manager of the New York Mets, is stepping down at some time once they find his replacement. And he's taking an additional role as special advisor to the team owner. And we were just talking about it. What is the difference between all these guys? So there's like a little bit of separation of power between each one. So I'm guessing like the special advisor to the owner would be like above the president of baseball operations?
Maybe sideways.
Or
Maybe
yeah,
it's kind of like a sideways
It's just like it seems like there's just so many different jobs that seem like they're so close to being the same job. It's like I don't know, maybe it is too difficult for one person to do it all. Because like I said, the Yankees have Hal do one thing, Hank does another thing, and then Brian Cashman is the GM.
Right. So
Cashman strictly does contracts and coaching, but he's also advised by the two Steinbrenner sons. But he was definitely Cashman was one of the main stay in getting rid of Joe Torre. It was really ultimately the Steinbrenners that decided it, but Cashman, I had the book Yankee Years.
Yeah.
And I had never finished it because I don't have the attention.
So why'd they want to get rid of Joe Torre? He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
It just felt like it was time. They hadn't won a World Series in a long enough time. But he didn't really advocate for, because Joe Torre even went to him after the meeting. Him and Cashman left the office together, and he's like, so what about like one more year? Did you just want to try like a 1 year trial? And apparently from what Torre wrote in the book, Cashman like walked in the room, turned right back out and walked out and said no. Like he didn't even like advocate for him at all.
Wow.
So it just seemed like Cashman didn't want him there either. So, which is, yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, you know. And then they bring in Girardi and
he won a World Series.
It goes back to what you were saying, though. They spent money on the right people. You know, they brought in CeCe Sabathia and Mark Teixeira, who both had phenomenal years, and they already had Jeter in his prime, still had A-Rod pretty much in his prime. Cano was turning into a really big star at the time.
Right.
You know, so they just needed a couple more pieces. And, you know, Rivera was still there, you know, so, I mean, they still had a good team. And then they brought in the two huge guys. And, yeah, that was 2009. They haven't won it since. They haven't even been back to the World Series.
So what do you think now of the manager they've got?
I've already told you. If they don't win the World Series, he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question. We had like a 15.5 game lead at one point, and now it's down to 5.5. I mean, since the All-Star break, I think they're pretty much 500 ball. If we didn't have Aaron Judge, we might not even be in first place anymore. You know, but Aaron Judge, you know, the video game numbers that he's putting up, they're just, you know,
yeah.
Everybody's like, the Yankees are on fire. Like, the Yankees are not on fire. Aaron Judge is on fire. There's a difference.
You know, as a baseball fan and stuff, I mean, don't you think that's kind of an unreasonable expectation to say, you know, you guys got to win the World Series? I mean, it's a crapshoot. I mean, you watch from year to year. I was just talking to somebody about this, in 2006, the St. Louis Cardinals, basically, they didn't even win to get into the playoffs. Basically, they fell in.
They backed in.
They just happened to be the least worst team.
Right, exactly.
Played the Mets, who were all beat up. I think they didn't have Pedro. I don't think they had El Duque during the playoffs. So they had, I don't know. They took it to 7 games. They lost. The Cardinals beat the Mets, and the Cardinals went and played the Tigers and won them in the World Series.
Right.
So it's like, you don't know. You don't know if these teams are going to win or not. I mean, you could build. You watch, like you say, like the Yankees. You look at the Dodgers now. The Dodgers have won 1 World Series with this team that they've got. The Houston Astros have only won 1. I mean, those are some powerhouse teams.
Yeah.
How can you look at your team and say, this team, if they don't go all the way, I'm going to fire people? I mean, you don't know. There's so many factors that come into a winning team.
I mean, I think that's just the Steinbrenner way. They're like, come on, it's been 13 years.
Or New York, New
or New
York's
York
like
in
that
general.
too.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. But
you could put the best team together, on paper, but they may not be able to win the World Series.
Yeah, they may not mesh well together.
They might not get through the playoffs.
Yeah, they might not get along in the clubhouse, and that actually makes a big difference. I mean, I think that's a lot of the reason why Joe Girardi got dismissed, because I don't think he was like friends with, like, not friends, but I mean, like, I don't think they had like the camaraderie that they expected.
Yeah.
I think he lost it over the years, and I think ultimately they're just like. But that also brings me to the point of what did Aaron Boone have any coaching experience prior?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think his dad coached for a while. Was it Brett Boone? Bob. He managed for a while, didn't he?
Jeez, I don't know.
But that also doesn't, just because his dad did, doesn't mean he
Right,
necessarily
doesn't mean
he has the experience. I mean, obviously he's a former player, very popular in New York for obvious reasons. But
yeah,
I
don't
just
know.
it's like, I mean, Girardi, I was wrong because I said I didn't think Girardi had coaching experience, and he did because he coached Marlins prior.
Right.
And then I think he went to Philly after.
Yeah, did he manage Chicago, or was that just speculation? Didn't he manage Chicago
He may
for a
have.
while?
He's gotten
The
fired
Cubs?
from everywhere he's managed. So I mean,
Yeah, he didn't even make it through the season this year.
in Philly, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the deal was with that.
No, I don't either. Because I didn't necessarily think he was a bad manager, but he wasn't one of those managers that would, if your guy felt he was right and the umpire was wrong, he wasn't one of those guys that would go out there and argue a lot. And I didn't like that. I didn't respect that. I want a manager who's going to fight for my players,
Yeah.
And he wasn't like that, which is kind of surprised because I felt like he kind of was when he was a player. But I don't know. I feel like he just lost the team at some point, and the whole organization kind of saw it.
Yeah.
So
Well, Joe Madden got fired too. Did he even start the season this year? I don't know. I was surprised. I always thought Joe Madden was like a superstar.
he's a very good manager, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the manager when the Cubs won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at all the years in Tampa.
Right.
They would get rid of all their talent, it seemed like, every year at the trade deadline, and they were still he even brought them to the World Series one year. They lost, but he even brought them to the World Series, and they have like a crap for payroll. They don't have any money because they don't get anybody to go to their games. Florida is not a baseball state. It's a football state,
Right.
I mean, and it's just, but yeah, I mean, I don't know who fired him. It was the Angels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That surprised me. I really didn't see that coming. But
yeah.
But I don't know. The Angels are pretty stinky.
Yeah, but he'll find a job.
They have the 2 best players in baseball. Well, arguably, like two of
Come
the,
on,
two of
come
the
on.
best players in baseball.
I'm going to
and
argue that every day.
They can't seem to win.
That is hard, though, because, I mean, not Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and I can't even pronounce Ohtani's first name, but Colin's not surprised to hear that. But, yeah, they are 2 of the best players in baseball, and it's like, it baffles me because they're, like, way under 500, aren't they? And I think, was Trout hurt for a while, though?
I think he was, yeah.
But
he's come back. He's playing. So what do you think? Yankees, looks like they're going to take the division. They're going into the playoffs. Looks like my team, they may not take the division.
You're
but
going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the
You're
playoffs.
sitting pretty good. So.
But I'll tell you, they got swept by the Cubs 4 games at home.
Wow.
What the heck is that
At
about?
home?
Oh,
And
yeah, that's ugly.
Did DeGrom and Scherzer both pitch? One of them had to.
Oh. No, see, Scherzer's hurt. So he's starting
Scherzer's
tonight.
still hurt?
Yeah,
Okay.
So he's been out. Tonight's his first start back, so he didn't pitch at all against the Cubs. DeGrom might have pitched the first game, and then he left. I couldn't even believe it. And then they just played the Pirates. They really barely beat the Pirates. They didn't really beat up on them, and now they're playing a playoff caliber team in the Brewers tonight. So
Brewers just took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. So I mean,
we'll see what happens here. I'm But I don't know. I said this to you early in the season. I said, baseball teams go through hot spells. They do go through cold spells. And it seems like the Mets have gotten a little cold this month.
Yeah, it's same with the Yankees. I mean, the only team that's really been a mainstay from start to finish is the Dodgers. It's just, I mean, they already clinched the division, and there's, 16 games left, maybe?
Yeah.
17 games left?
They're a juggernaut. And, of course, everybody's going to expect that they're going to win. But you never know. They come up against a team that could trip them up.
Yeah.
The Cardinals.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it doesn't really, it's not the same as baseball, obviously, but kind of where you're going with the Cardinals and Mets that year, the same thing happened with the Packers. I think it was 2010 or 2009, I forget what it was. Aaron Rodgers got hurt towards the end of the year, and one of my friend's dads is a huge Packers fan, and I was like, you know what? They're like 8-6. I mean, they're barely going to make the playoffs. It's like, it's not even worth it. I mean, he's your franchise player. Just sit him. And Mike McCarthy, the head coach at the time, decided against that, and they won the last two games. Made the last wild card spot in the playoffs. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. And it's like, and I was like, they're not even going to make it because Rodgers shouldn't even be playing, and he won Super Bowl MVP, and they just got hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that's exactly what happened with the Cardinals. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because I mean the Dodgers are going to be clear cut favorites.
Oh yeah.
To win the World Series. I don't think there's any question about that. In the American League, it almost seems like it's a crapshoot at this point because I think Houston's kind of.
Yeah.
I think they've gotten a little inconsistent, haven't they?
I thought they were kind of a powerhouse, but then again, I'm looking from the wrong angle. They swept the Mets in their season series, so I don't know.
But on a different note, our movie part, Colin finally watched Requiem for a Dream. We've both seen it. You said you haven't seen it in a long time.
No, not in a while.
I've seen it quite a bit. I've seen it many times.
I think I've seen it twice. I think I saw it the year it came out, and then I probably watched it again, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. Pretty impressive film.
It is. 8.3 is what it gets on IMDb.
Darren Aronofsky was the director, and I think this was coming off. He had this real big hit with his independent movie, Pi. Did you see Pi?
Yes. This is my favorite Aronofsky movie that I've seen. I really did like Pi, and I really like Black Swan, too. Noah was okay. I still haven't seen, is it Mom or Mother?
Oh, Mother. Oh.
Mother.
Yeah, I'll have to lend it to you.
Yeah, because
I bought it because I couldn't see it. I was waiting for a long time to see it, and then I was kind of like, whoa. So, yeah, I'm not going to say any more about it. I'm just going to bring it in and let Joey watch it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to watch it. But so what do you think, 8.3?
Easily, yeah.
I mean, I think that might even be a little low. Like I said, it's very disturbing, but an excellent movie. Excellent cast. I mean, Ellen Burstyn was nominated for Best Actress. I'm surprised that that's the only Oscar nomination the movie got because it was such a good movie. It's Ellen Burstyn, Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, and is it Marlon Wayans? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of the Wayans.
Well, I don't think, coming off of Pi, I think he got a budget on this, but I don't think this was a big budget movie, and I doubt it made a lot of money at the box office at the time.
I don't think so either.
But it's kind of well regarded, like an art film, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Colin liked it, right, Colin? Yeah, Colin said it was really good. He said he would definitely watch it again. For me, it is difficult certain areas in the movie because it's so like traumatizing in a way because there really is. It's almost like I wouldn't say four leads necessarily, but four main characters. They're all like supporting players, really. But none of them have a happy ending at all. Like nobody can like say at the end that they're proud of how it ended for them. It's just
right.
I mean, it's all bad. But an excellent movie, excellent cast. I would highly recommend it. I would say probably like 8.5, 8.6. I mean, it's definitely a really, really good movie.
Well, he's got a new movie, and I remember when I told you about this, you thought you laughed, you didn't believe it. But The Whale.
Colin is so pumped to see that movie
with Brendan Fraser. Well,
I think we might have to have a Fact TV field trip and go see this.
The word that I heard on it was bad. They loved Brendan Fraser. They thought he did a tremendous acting job, but they didn't like the film. This is what I read so far.
Really?
So my expectations have been lowered a little bit. Plus, like I say, Noah. I wasn't really thrilled with Noah. I don't know. I'm trying to think I can't think of what the other one is.
What did you think of Black Swan?
Oh, I like Black Swan a lot.
I did too.
That's dark. That's a dark movie too, like Requiem for a Dream.
Well, isn't pretty much everything he does dark?
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, I
can't
don't
think of
see him ever doing a comedy.
What's the one that he did with? Oh shoot, what's his name? Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman and that other actress that I like a lot too. Shoot, this is the problem. I get onto the show and then I forget everybody's names. Oh shoot, it's got a simple name like The Tree or something like that.
Is it The Fountain?
The Fountain. That's it.
I haven't seen that.
I did, and I liked it a lot. I liked it better than what they rated it. So
Is that Rachel Weisz?
Rachel Weisz.
Okay,
that's who
yeah,
it is.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I'm higher on that one than I am on some of his other ones.
So this is the description for The Whale.
Okay.
A reclusive English teacher living with severe obesity attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last chance at redemption. Brendan Fraser obviously is the obese teacher. I don't recognize anyone else in here as Sadie Sink, Hong Chow, Ty Simpkins. I've never heard of. Samantha Morton, I guess I've heard of.
Yeah. I think she plays his ex-wife, right?
I'm not sure. But, it sounds interesting. Definitely something I would check out because it's Aronofsky. And you got, like, Brendan Fraser when it premiered. I think Colin said it was the Toronto Film Festival. You got, like, a 6-minute standing ovation after.
Yeah.
So I guess his performance was pretty good. Well received anyway with that audience. But, yeah, being Aronofsky, I would probably just go see it just because he interests me as a director.
Right. And what else? So most of the other directors that we like, they're not really coming out with movies right now. Though Scorsese, is it Scorsese? I think Scorsese has a movie coming out.
Does he?
Something about I don't remember. Lotus Flower or something? Confessions of the... I don't know. But don't even listen to me. I can't remember anything. My brain is fried. So,
right,
but he's got a new movie, and it's got a real good cast in it, and I forget...
Is DiCaprio in it, probably, I'm guessing?
I think a lot of people
Probably
are in it.
a lot of, yeah. Well, there's one thing I know you want to talk about that I'm kind of intrigued. You got a list of the top 10
Oh, yeah, I found this...
overrated?
I found this list. Last week on the show, I was talking about the top 250 movies on IMDb, because I've been trying to see all the best movies, which I have. I've eliminated... Look, I don't have any to see on the first page. I think the second and third page, yeah, there's not a lot here. They're mostly silent movies that I haven't seen, or some foreign movies. But here's 10 movies that they felt were overrated on IMDb. First one is Into the Wild. That's a Sean Penn directed movie. Did you like it a lot?
No. Why? What's it rate?
I don't know. I didn't write down the ratings on it. But I guess they felt like this was overrated. I have to put on my glasses.
It's like Emil Hirsch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I actually saw it because Sean Penn directed it, because he's my favorite actor.
It's 8. An even 8.
I don't know. That might be a little high.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
No, it's good. It's definitely above the Mendoza line.
Yeah, not a great movie.
8, yeah, I'd say 8's probably a little high.
The next one, I don't even know. It's a foreign movie called Jabim. I don't know what
Never
that
heard
is.
of it.
The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music is overrated. Let me see if I could find it. Oh, I didn't cross it off because here it is. That's 8 as well. Do you think 8 is too high for The Sound of Music?
I do, because I didn't really care for it that much. But
you're not a musical guy.
I'm not. So what do you think? Do you think 8's too high?
I don't know. I thought it was like one of the great Hollywood musicals.
Well, then maybe it's not. Maybe it's
Julie Andrews. Holy Moses.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer was good too.
How about this? Gone with the Wind. Is Gone with the Wind overrated?
My issue is it's just so long. It took me like a week to watch it.
I didn't. I was never really. Funny. I was never high on that movie. I really didn't think that much of it. I thought it was kind of boring, and it's not one that I'm dying to go back and watch again. I gotta look quick on this list, see if I can find it. Gone with the Wind, 8.1. Maybe it rates for that. I don't know.
It's considered a classic, but like I said, it's too long. It took me like a week to watch it, and I just.
How about this one? Academy Award winning movie. I think this won Best Picture. Spotlight.
What does that get? I'm going to say overrated because I know that there are at least 8. And I wouldn't give that movie an 8.
You wouldn't give that movie an 8?
No.
Oh, boy, I remember kind of liking that movie. Man, I got to find it.
I mean, I liked it, but I wouldn't give it an 8.
No, so you think 8, it's 8. That's what it's got.
Because you said the lowest one on there is 8, right? Yeah, no, I don't think it's an 8. I think it's below an 8, so.
Well, I don't know. And I, but on the other side, I don't really remember too much about the movie. I remember what it's about. I don't remember any big, memorable scenes or anything like that.
So, okay, one thing Colin mentioned when we first got here, he said Avengers Endgame is overrated. I think he said it gets an 8.3.
8.3. Let's see if I can find it here.
And we saw that all in the movie theater. And my biggest argument was it was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
That's a long movie, even for a superhero. Even for a superhero movie, that's...
Oh, are we running out of time?
We still got time. We're good.
All right.
So what do you think? 8.3? I think I would say that 8.3 is high just because it was too long. There's a lot of stuff that they didn't have to have in that movie.
Yeah.
I thought, I think they could have easily been 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I thought it was good, but I'm not really.
I thought it was good too, but I don't think it was 8.3 good.
I'm not big on comic book movies to begin with, so it's going to take a lot to impress me.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is you're talking about 8.3. I think Goodfellas gets an 8.3.
Yeah?
I think Goodfellas is better than Endgame.
Goodfellas is good. Maybe it's 8.3. I've watched Goodfellas several times.
I feel like Goodfellas is a classic. I've seen Goodfellas many times. I bet I've seen Goodfellas probably 50 times. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. All right, how about Shutter Island? That's Scorsese.
Seeing how
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Seeing how I know it's at least an 8, I wouldn't give it an 8. I liked it, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, so you wouldn't even give it an 8?
No, I'd put it in the mid, 7.5, 7.6.
I liked it. I really didn't like it that much at all. I was kind of I think it's kind of an overrated movie to begin with. I think the big spin or whatever at the end of that movie,
a lot of people saw it coming.
Oh yeah, I saw that thing coming a mile away. So I don't know. I don't think that much of it. Green Book.
Haven't seen it.
Another Best Picture winner.
Mm-hmm. You've seen it though, right? Didn't you go see it in the theater?
No, I think I saw it on videotape, but I'm trying to think, or a DVD, and I'm trying to think about it. How much about that movie do I remember now? Was it great? I mean, it has Viggo Mortensen. It has
say it. Go ahead, say it.
Mahershala Ali.
Colin's out there laughing.
Two great actors. So I mean, I think that's the treat of the whole thing.
He won his second Oscar for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's proven that he's turning into a legit, real good actor. He was in season 3 of True Detective, which I really liked.
I thought he was excellent.
Did you watch it? You
watched
it,
it,
right?
You lent it to me,
and
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, I think he's just a really good actor.
That may have been some of his best work, right there.
It could have been, yeah. What else?
Batman Begins, the first of the 3 Batman movies.
It was my least favorite of the 3, I would say.
That seems to be the consensus, though. I remember when it came out, I was pretty blown away. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It doesn't hold up next to
The Dark Knight. Even The Dark Knight Rises, in my opinion. I don't think it even holds up to that. I mean, Christopher Nolan really killed it with that trilogy, I mean,
but it was really good. The Sting.
I wasn't a big fan of The Sting.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford. That's what I'm going to have to go back and watch again.
I definitely like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid a lot better than
that seems
than
to be
Sting.
the consensus.
And I bet you The Sting's higher on the IMDb than Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid is.
And they tried to re-team them, I guess, and they thought it was going to be something special. Had a great theme song.
The Sting won Best Picture.
Did it?
And I think the director, I forget his name, but he won Best Director too, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
So that's regarded very highly, and I just remember not liking it.
Huh.
I mean,
I got to go back and watch it.
I saw it when I was really young, though, so
Me too.
Maybe I didn't understand it.
It's been so long. I can barely remember. How about this one? I didn't see this movie, The Help.
I haven't seen that either.
And they gave that 8.
I know that was very well critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. So
I haven't either, so I don't really have an opinion on that one. But yeah, some of these are, some
it's got a
pretty
good
highly
cast.
regarded movies.
I want to say, what's her name? She's in Suicide Squad.
Oh, what's her name?
Who? Yeah, did she win an Oscar for that? Viola Davis?
I don't know. I didn't think so, but
maybe not.
I could be wrong.
I could be too.
I've stopped watching the Oscars. The Oscars have disappointed me the last few years.
Definitely. So we are just about out of time.
Well, I do have another list. We won't do it this week, but Best Pictures. These are the most recent Best Pictures. Worst to best.
Okay, that'll be our topic next week. That's actually good because that could be a couple episodes right there.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's been our episode of the Best Pictures / Best Pictures. One of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Treadler, and these are the ones you don't want to miss.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Here's Johnny. Go ahead. Make my day.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.